Alrighty, chat. So unless you've been living under a rock, not under the rock, not him. Unless you have, and I don't know how you're doing that. Anyway, TikTok just got banned, but came back hours later. Now I can't go live right now. A lot of people can't go live right now. However, you can still post up a video. As far as I know, I haven't tried posting anything. I think you can post right now. You just can't go live yet. Here's a statement from TikTok. Let's take a look. So King Remedy says about TikTok is that not saying that someone else is pulling the strings, but ever since it came back, the app felt soulless. The algorithm feels broken. It feels like the crappy Instagram algorithm. You think so? I haven't checked it yet, but I think what might have happened since it came back, its momentum is off. The algorithm's momentum is off. I think that's what the issue is, because people aren't posting, you know, I don't know. It's like a when you start up a car, you gotta let it warm up. Maybe, I don't know. Is that still a thing for cars? Letting the car warm up before you drive off? Joe says, sounds sus. I mean, Trump isn't the law. I'm not sure it's legal binding. You think so, Joe? In agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring services. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans, allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. King Remedy says, since it shut down for a bit, it might have wiped everyone and their FYP reset. So everyone has the FYP they got when they first downloaded the app. Whoa. That's big brain thinking over there. Yeah, it could. Because I remember when I first... You know what, chat? I remember I had a bone to pick with TikTok when I first downloaded it. And I got upset and I uninstalled it. I uninstalled it. At the time, there were a bunch of mothers dolling up their babies to look like little... what's the most appropriate way of saying this, chat? Pleasure dolls. And I know the mothers didn't see it that way. Mothers won't see it that way, but I was like, what is this? What is this? Is this what TikTok is? It's not TikTok anymore. It's Tug Talk. Yeah, I said it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it whatsoever. I'm like, you think your baby is cute, but babies shouldn't look mature. They shouldn't whatsoever. King Remedy says, I kind of like that. Since the app came back, I've seen a lot less TikTok shop ads, lives, and general social media slop. Yeah, I think it's a learning experience for that. You think now that it's a reset, people are going to get like, you know, a different kind of vibe? Let me see if I can use this as a way for help people understand what I'm trying to say. You're driving full speed down a path, but then something stops you because of, you know, a broken tire or something like that. As you fix the tire and you get up to a full speed again, you go a path you generally wouldn't have gone unless you just kept going. Now, the reason why this is a very important thing to think about is because a lot of platforms have come and gone over the years, like Vine or MySpace or whatever. Do you think this slowdown sped up the process of TikTok being phased out? Like Vine. About the moms thing, King Remedy says, that was gross. Some moms knew and liked the fame, so they kept pimping out their kids to views. I don't see that anymore. I think they stopped that. They put a shutdown to that, which is good. And I think the moms they like their kids looking cute, so I understand. To play devil's advocate, chat, maybe my mind is just twisted. Is that possible? I've just seen too much crazy stuff over the years to think of it in a sense like, oh, your baby's adorable. Like, no, your baby looks weird. I don't like it. I mean, do what you want. It's not affecting me, but I'm just saying, and that's not even that. Maybe your baby shouldn't be on the internet to begin with. Someone should put your baby in jail. Someone should put your baby in jail. How dare you? FX says the CEO suggested an app similar to YouTube Kids, and Drake said, I got you. Ain't no way. Hey, just said, I got you, fam. Ain't no way. King Remedy says, yeah, good people mass reported them and they faded away. What? There was this picture of this baby, not picture, it was a video. Someone posted their baby like making a silly face. Some women was like, how dare you upload that video? They were saying like your baby looks like a lewd toy and everything, a lewd mouth toy. And everyone was like, the baby is just making a silly face. Like, you need to get your brain out of the gutter. Is it that kind of sense, chat? Who knows? Who knows? And that's just me playing devil's advocate. Like, I still don't want to see it. Other people who want to see it, by all means, do you. I know you're saying, Candy, what's new information? Why should I be watching this video or VOD or whatever? So something new from what I heard is that it's still like the ban is still, you know, in effect. You know, service providers aren't being punished for it. They still have to sell. Donald Trump said the Supreme Court has to be respected. Supposedly Biden says he won't enforce the ban. Supposedly Trump has to enforce it, or at least make an attempt to, you know, work out some type of a solution. But the Supreme Court says, hey, China can't have, or ByteDance can't have ownership of this. You have to sell it. Now, supposedly they sell 50% of it. The Supreme Court says you got to get rid of it, or at least you can't, like ByteDance can't own it. So who buys it? Mr. Beast. I heard Mr. Beast put up some money to want to buy it. I heard Elon Musk put up to buy it. But you know what I think, chat? I don't think ByteDance will sell. Not even the slightest. Not even in the slightest. They may try to do some type of deal that allows them to keep a hold of it and have the data that goes to them double checked by, you know, the American government. Now, here's the King Remedy says, you know, it's bad when Mr. Beast is the best option. You know, I think Mr. Beast would do. I think Mr. Beast understands content. FX says Mr. Beast is good for children, apparently. King Remedy also says, kind of, but if you look at the comments, there were a bunch of creepy grandpas talking gross about the kid and the mom. Oh, you talking about the baby who was like making the funny faces? Maybe. But yeah, I think Mr. Beast understands content and understands the algorithm. And I like Elon Musk, but I think Mr. Beast understands content more than Elon Musk understands content. King Remedy says Mr. Beast himself is okay, but he has some sketchy people around him. That's very true. Maybe. I don't know those people. I have no input on those people. I've heard things. That's between Mr. Beast and whoever. With that being said, it doesn't change the fact that he knows. It's like the United States, right? The United States has its faults, but gosh, do they know war. Gosh, do they know war. Mr. Beast, he may have some controversy and all that fun stuff, but gosh, does he know content. Like, for example, Dr. Disrespect, he made a deal with Rumble, and they also put Dr. Disrespect, as much as I know, in charge of at the seat of the table for, you know, Rumble's gaming department, because Dr. Disrespect knows gaming and knows what people want to see. Best of luck with that, you know. Hopefully it gives, you know, Twitch, you know, Twitch and, you know, YouTube a run for their money and Kick, because competition is great. Now, the crazy thing about you know, the ban for TikTok is that they've banned many Chinese things. Like, take a quick look at the Chinese cars. I don't know too much about a lot of this, chat, but I've heard that, you know, United States has banned a lot of Chinese car corporations over the years. So I'm not surprised that they're banning TikTok if ByteDance doesn't sell. I don't think ByteDance can hold on to it for very long and stay in the United States. They have to, you know, do something. They have to do something. One of the crazy things about the younger generation, the older generations, is that the younger generation won't stay the younger generation for long. The older generation, right, chat, they're going to ban TikTok, you know, do a lot of things that the younger generation does not like. You know what happens when the younger generation becomes the older generation? Well, the very older generation will pay for it. If your dad kept punching you in the face since you was a kid, up to the point that you're an adult, your dad is old now, smarter thing to do is to not pay it forward. Better to just turn the other cheek. But some people don't have that same mindset as I do. Some people will want revenge, or some people will be like, why should I give you money for disability when you messed everything up? Like, well, I'm old. Yeah, well, you punched me in the face for like 50,000 years and you want me to approve some bill that gives you disability? Nah, I'm salty. You banned TikTok. Why would I help you out in your time of need when you didn't help me out in my time of want? King Remedy says, I think they should test the old people to see if they are competent enough to even download TikTok before they get a say. But yeah, it doesn't make too much sense. I see a lot of, like, you know, older generation making, I get it. There's a balance, right? The older generation has like a lot of knowledge, like you know, where it came from, you know, a lot of wisdom and all these things. The younger generation wants, you know, change and all that stuff. You want something new or want to try other ways. The older generation knows how to build a bridge, and they know like the best way to build a bridge. The younger generation wants to try new ways of building the bridge, and the older generation, like, we tried that. Like, that's going to break. here it is. So like, well, what if we do it this way? Like, that doesn't work. Like, that doesn't work. That other way is just a slight variation. It's not going to work. There are situations where older generation isn't creative enough, thinking outside the box enough to actually see a certain way. So when it comes to TikTok, you know, and also maybe TikTok, the United States government does see something that we don't see for TikTok. Maybe they do see that, like see something that we don't see. It's kind of like if the United States government see something in TikTok that we don't, but if they prove it to us, they're like, hey, this is what we see. This is where it is. This is what we should get rid of. This is why we should get rid of TikTok. If they said like, if they show their hand, maybe someone who is using TikTok for nefarious reasons will like, oh man, they're onto us. Okay, now we have to redo it, but in a way that they don't see it, because now we know how they work, kind of situation. King Remedy says, with social media encouraging behavior like crashing out, public freakouts, and glorification of fighting, I think we are going to turn into caveman in 10 years with no sympathy for old people. That's a possibility. I wouldn't say you're wrong. But yeah, maybe the United States government does see something that we don't. Maybe the countries that did ban TikTok see something that we don't. Like, I remember I was talking to one of the AIs at one point. I was like, do you think the FBI, do you think the FBI should be able to be secretive? And the AI says something like, no, it should be like transparent and everything. And I'm like, well, what if being transparent means it shows their hand like to the enemy? I forgot how it answered, but it was fully in support of being transparent. And I'm like, well, at some point, transparency kind of, you know, can shoot yourself in the foot when your goal is to weed out the nefarious people. So Biden supposedly said that he is not going to enforce it. That's Donald Trump's job, if he wants to enforce it, and how he enforces it. Because I assume if Donald Trump does not enforce it in some way, shape, or form, he gets in trouble by the people who created the law. I forgot the name of it. The Senate? I'm sorry, chat. I'm very ignorant in a lot of this stuff. I'm very ignorant in a lot of this stuff. I'm just, you know, trying to be as informative as possible.